Welcome to Red Dead Online Noob Mistakes, or the first 5 mistakes you're probably going to make in Red Dead Online. So we're going to start off with mistake number 1. You start the game with this weapon, and it is probably the worst weapon that you could own in Red Dead Online, and that would be the Carbine Repeater. Yes, if you are using the Carbine Repeater, you are behind, as with pretty much everything on this list, but yeah, the Carbine Repeater is just trash. If you're interested in why, there's a ton of videos on it, but some cliff notes are that it shoots really slow and it's pretty inaccurate, but it is useful to have it upgraded for Name Your Weapon, because you do have to use it in Name Your Weapon, but outside of that, there is no reason to keep it as your main loadout. It's literally better to use a pistol in most scenarios than to use the Carbine Repeater. So that is my first mistake, is get rid of this gun or go buy another gun, basically. All right, now mistake number 2 is not resetting your awards. And if you're new, you probably don't even know what these are. So you're gonna wanna click start, go to progress, and then in the middle, there's this thing called awards. You're gonna wanna click on awards, and then there's, I'm gonna start with sharpshooter just because it's the one I'm gonna have the most in. And then anything that is gold, for the most part, you can reset. There are a few that aren't resettable once you hit gold, but once you reset these, they actually give you gold nuggets, which I know a lot more advanced players would probably be like, what? Yeah, I knew about this, bro. But if you're new to the game, you have no idea this is a feature, and it's an easy way to earn gold. So I'm just gonna fast forward through the rest of these here and then show you guys how much gold I got from just resetting these. I think I reset them like, I don't know, 20 hours ago in playtime wise, something like that, not too long ago at all. And boom, just a chunk of gold for some stuff that I passively do in game. It's super useful, and I see a lot of people not doing it. So try to check every few levels. Now, mistake number 3 is actually going to be wasting your money. And what I mean by wasting your money is in the first 15 to 25 levels of the game, then there's pretty much nothing you should be buying aside from one new gun at the start of the game, and then that's kind of it until you hit level 30. I think is where you wherever you unlock express ammo, that's pretty much what you should be saving your money up for, and then you should be buying ability cards, etc., etc. Now I have 2 videos that I'm going to link below on this, the best and worst purchases. Hopefully that'll help anybody who has any more questions out. Now, mistake number 4 is actually going to be using beta techniques. So if you're new to the game, you've probably searched, an XP method or a money method, something like that, and maybe you've seen some characters taking a dead animal carcass, putting it by the river, and waiting. Now, if you're a new player, you're probably going to go do the exact same thing. I would recommend to check the upload dates, because there might be a lot of stuff like this as well, and maybe some YouTubers who just don't know that things have been nerfed are still doing tutorials like this. You can't farm cops with a ladder. You can't go do carcass fishing glitches. There's a lot of stuff like that floating around the internet now, because the game was in beta for so long. There is a lot of pretty rudimentary things that got patched out that are half of the tutorials that show up when you Google money methods or XP methods. So make sure you check the date on the tutorials that you're following. This is very, very, very important, because you might wind up wasting all your money throwing dynamite into the lake out of frustration because you're like, why is this dead fox not bringing me food? And then finally, mistake number 5, which I would think is probably the most important one, is going to be your ability cards. Now, I can't break down every ability card here because there's just far too many, but my basic premise with ability cards, and those of you guys who've been following for a little while will know this, is you gotta switch them out. So you gotta have a PvP setup, a hunting setup, or a free roam setup, etc., etc. So every different thing you do should have a different set of these cards that you apply to it. And you might be saying, but Pineapple, I want to know what cards are the best. Why don't you just tell me? Well, my friends, I have this is a great source for me to plug today. My friend JM Cookie recently did a video on the best hunting ability cards, and then Hazard has done a lot of videos, but I'm gonna link to his most recent one on the best PvP ability cards. So you guys can go take it from 2 individual sources. Hazard is a god at PvP, and JM Cookie has a bunch of hunting profits. So you guys can go take it from both of them. They're both really good sources for these 2. And they'll give you better information on those 2 than I could here. But that is actually gonna be where I draw this video to a close. So thank you guys for watching the top 5 mistakes that new Red Dead Online players make. My name has been Pineapple. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you very soon with a brand new Red Dead Online video. Peace.